This week on The Chamber. Bella Balloons offers the best views in Warren County from the safety and comfort of their state-of-the-art hot air balloons. Owner Mike Gliatti will be our pilot today as Rich lifts off for his first balloon ride. Rich is a little nervous, so we've arranged some hand-holding for him, courtesy of his wife Jen. Let's tag along as Bella Balloons crew gives Rich a lift.
So this is Bella Balloons. This is Mike. He's the owner of Bella. You guys have been open since doing this since 2007. Is that right?
That's correct.
Great.
Yeah, we've flown thousands of people.
Excellent. And this is one of your launching sites, right? Lebanon Sports Complex.
We love Lebanon. We use a number of sites around the area, about 25 sites all around Warren County.
Oh wow, excellent. Well, what we're going to start with is we're going to start with the safety check, and then we're going to get up in the air and talk some more. So let's go through that.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Well, first, welcome. We're glad you're here. What we're going to talk about is inflating a balloon and how we're going to do everything this morning. Shortly, we're going to go ahead and ask for a couple volunteers. Ballooning is an up-close and hands-on experience. So I don't know if you know this yet or not, but you are going to be utilized as crew today. So we'll need a couple volunteers to hold the mouth of the balloon open. We're going to turn on an inflation fan, which is on the other side of the basket. It takes us about 8 to 10 minutes to fill the balloon up on its side entirely. During that time, you just want to be careful not to get entangled in any lines or ropes. After the, yeah, that's a good thing. That would be me. We'll be watching for you, Rich. But after the balloon is totally packed with air on its side, we're going to go ahead and add the heat and stand it up.
When he fires these things up, I can feel the heat from here. This is a pretty amazing experience so far already.
We want everybody up close here at that time, because as the balloon comes upright, we're going to ask you to go ahead and get into the basket.
All right, here comes the most graceful part of the afternoon. I invited my wife Jen. I needed her support for this grand adventure we're going to have.
Good job, guys. Once we're in, be the only time this morning where you might feel a little bit hot, because I have to take the air in the balloon from a very nice comfortable 70 up to about 150 for our takeoff this morning. Yeah. Wow. After that, relax and enjoy. We have a gorgeous, gorgeous morning dominated by high pressure, clear skies, incredible visibility. We're going to take off and head to the north when I do find a landing spot. Now, we love airports, schools, churches, parks, and sometimes here in Warren County, people like to have nice big manicured lawns, multiple acres. And sometimes we'll just drop in unexpected for breakfast. As we're coming on in, we might ask, may we have your permission to land? And,
I'm sure the dogs just love that.
And
too.
you will hear dogs along the way, definitely. When we do come in, I'll ask you to hold on to the inside loops of the basket and keep your legs flexed, because like any other aircraft, the balloon's going to land on a grade, so a glide. So the basket's going to make contact with the ground and stop, but the balloon is still moving forward. So it will lift up and bounce a couple of times. That whole time I'll have the vent open, so gravity will take hold of us. But if you're holding on, your legs are flexed, you're gonna do just great. The other thing, we'll ask you to remain in the basket until we figure out where we're gonna pull the balloon down, because if Jen says, Mike, that was the best time ever, and just hops out, Dr. Rich and I are going to go take another flight, because we haven't let the balloon cool enough for us to let a passenger out just yet. After that, we're going to work you again. The folks in the Bella Blue shirts are going to get sweaty, but we're going to ask for a couple hands just to hold some things. And following that, we're going to come back and toast, because there's a tradition with ballooning, and it ends with a toast. And we share that with you once this is complete, so you are official balloonists after all of this.
I'm an official balloonist after this.
That's right.
By the way, I am scared of heights. This is going to be interesting today. And so we're off to the wild blue yonder. We're about 10 feet off the ground. Right above our head, it's these gigantic flames. It keeps you kind of warm. So, Mike, when you started this, was this the area that you thought you would end up in, or?
Growing up in the south part of Dayton, I always knew Lebanon and how beautiful the area was. So for a balloon company, Lebanon is a fantastic place. We've got gorgeous views to the south of Cincinnati and Kings Island, and to the north of Dayton.
So we literally are just going with the wind here.
We're just going with the wind. We're gonna get right out of the valley here. You can see our gorgeous sunrise there. Now I can rotate the balloon left and right, but it doesn't steer us. So right now I'm rotating us to the right.
So more for just perspective.
Right, and if you're advertising or you want to show people a certain side, you can turn. There actually is a landing side and a takeoff side, so when it's time to land, having these turning vents is very, very helpful.
You know, when you grew up, did you grow up doing this? Or was this something that you thought at 10 you were like, I'm gonna own a balloon company?
I tell you, 15 years ago, I had no interest in even flying in a balloon. My wife surprised me for an anniversary over 10 years ago now, in 2004. And it was a hot air balloon ride. And I told her I get motion sickness. I really don't want to do this. And she said, you can't get motion sickness on a hot air balloon. There's no motion, as you see. We just glide right along. During that flight, I realized it was true, and I kept asking the pilot more and more and more questions about how do you become more involved with this? How do you become a pilot? How do you do what you do? And that led to me going to get my private pilot's license, and then later a commercial pilot's license for balloons, and buying a balloon in the process. Now, as we took off, you saw we didn't move at all as far as moving northbound here. As we gained just a little bit of altitude, this morning, and this is different on every single flight, but this morning the tables show us that as we increase our altitude, our speed to the north will increase, which is great because we want to take you someplace in a hot air balloon.
Excellent. And now, different altitudes have different winds, is that right? Different
speeds and different directions. And some evenings, you would think that the higher you go, the greater the wind speed, but that's not always true. Sometimes the wind 200 feet or 500 feet off the ground is faster. And we use that. We're constantly making note of that as we travel.
So tell me about this wicker basket that I am currently standing in about 1,000 feet up in the air.
That's right. The wicker basket is the best material for a hot air balloon basket as tested over the ages. The industry has tried aluminum, fiberglass, composite materials, everything you can think of. But the neat thing about wicker is that it's lightweight, it does not hold water, it's rigid, it's also flexible. And earlier it was very, very affordable. These days it's not as affordable because the places to collect wicker, you have to really, really hire people to go into some difficult places to get it. So it's a little more expensive now, but still the best.
So tell me about these two. Are these propane blowers that you have?
Yep, they're propane burners. Each one has an output of about 12 million BTU, so incredible. There's a statistic that these two burners can heat like 100 homes because of the output that they have, which is what keeps this 105,000 cubic foot balloon full of warm air above us. There's the creek right below us now.
This is a beautiful sight.
In beautiful downtown Lebanon is just to our east, crossing State Route 63 now. Now our chase crew, Rich, is going out the road there right in front of us, and we don't need them to land, but it's always helpful to have them there. What they try to do is stay in front of us about a mile, and they're our goodwill ambassadors on our landing. So when we land on private property, or we're about to land on private property, they go meet the landowner and ask for permission to be there. A very normal misconception about a hot air balloon landing is that it was not planned or that it was some sort of a crash. And that couldn't be further from the truth, because we like to land in all different kinds of areas, and we don't need an airport necessarily to land. So to have the balloon descend, we heat it to ascend, but to descend we can either let it cool, or this red and white line, we call this the candy line, goes all the way up to that circular parachute at the very, very top. And we can open that and vent out our heat, but we only open it for about 3-4 seconds at a time. So it's so much easier to let the energy go than it is to replace it. Now what I'm doing, we're not going to land yet, but I'm going to look at landing across from the junior high. There's a nice big field there. Our normal flight's about an hour.
So how long does it take to become a pilot?
About a year, because you need to take an FAA private pilot ground school, and then after that you also need to have the actual flight lessons and a flight check by an FAA examiner. In order to get the weather to cooperate, your schedule to cooperate, your crew chief to be available, because as you saw, we don't fly alone. Whenever there's a balloon up, there's a chase vehicle underneath it somewhere. You need about a year to make all those pieces kind of come together. To become a commercial pilot, all Bella Balloons pilots are commercial pilots. It takes a little bit longer, another year to year and a half, because we need you to build up experience as well as you have to complete another FAA ground school and a whole another set of regimen in the air with an instructor. Now when we do come in for our landing, guys, you'll want to keep your legs flexed because unlike the takeoff, we'll have a couple of bumps there on landing.
It's amazing the way you can feel the winds take.
Doesn't it feel great? Did you notice we just turned left?
Yeah, that was
up high we went right.
I thought we were going that way for sure, and all of a sudden we're going this way.
Now, it is normal for the basket to touch the treetops on landing, so we have to get you low to land.
Did you hear that, Joe? We may touch the treetops. Tried to land on the football field?
Oh, not the actual Lebanon football field. Guys, if we miss this, we'll take the Pee Wee football behind the water tower, which you can access from 48 there.
So this is a perfect balance of letting the air cool and just enough to get you over the treetop.
That's correct. And I'm sort of imagining our glide path coming right here just at the tops of the trees.
There's our cruise.
Deb, Ron, you'll want to go that way probably. Just going to round us out here. Couple of bounces here, guys. All right.
So we made it back safely.
We did.
Thank you for the perfect flight. The landing was, I mean, that was spot on. That was pretty impressive.
My pleasure. Mother Nature gave us a great day to work with.
So tell me a little bit about the company as far as how many days a week do you guys fly?
We fly 7 days a week in all 12 months out of the year. It gets very difficult though to fly between, say, Thanksgiving and April the 1st. But we do fly both at sunrise and sunset year round. We operate 4 balloons based right here in Lebanon.
And how old do you have to be to fly, and how old is too old to fly?
Well, good questions. We like our passengers, we need our passengers to be 8 years of age or older so they can follow directions independently from the pilot. Also so they can see over the basket, because it does hit you at about 40 inches. The other thing is that for our older passengers, my parents can't fly any longer. They're approaching 80. Now that doesn't hold us back, but what we do ask is that you can stand a minimum of 90 minutes, walk a quarter mile, and be able to jump down from a 2-foot ledge unassisted, and that helps us understand your dexterity to get in and out of the basket.
Excellent. Well, this was a fantastic day. We're going to toast to Bella Balloons.
You bet.
Thank you very much. And just remember, when you're flying with Bella, they have 100% safety, and also there's no bathroom and no stewardess.
Can I share a toast with you?
Yes.
The winds have welcomed you with softness. The sun has blessed you with its warm hands. You've flown so high and so well that God has joined you in your laughter and set you gently back into the loving arms of Mother Earth. So congratulations, new balloonist.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Bella Balloons offers the best views in Warren County from the safety and comfort of their state-of-the-art hot air balloons. They are available for flights throughout the tri-state region and can accommodate you and a guest for an unforgettable experience. Give them a call or visit them online at flybellaballoons.com to schedule your trip today. They would love to hear from you. If you would like to learn more about the business members of the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, call us at 932-1100 or visit us online at lebanonchamber.org.